Greetings and welcome to the Horrific Talk Spot. Hopefully my connection... Oh my god, right. I got an email from my provider at the weekend said, we have upgraded your connection to super fast speed. Just restart your router. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on with Adam playing the second part of our Dragonlance game. So I'm like, oh, I've got super speed now. This will be fantastic. So I restarted it before I went online. Oh my god. Fucking cutting in and out.
Yeah, of course.
I thought I was talking away. It turns out I'm frozen because I had to replay to see where it was. And apparently my screen was freezing. I'm restarting the Wi-Fi thing here, and then I'm going in, restarting the router, and then I'm fucking checking. I'm banging my head off the desk going, what the hell is this?
Yeah, you gotta love those fucking updates we had.
So
Comcast in my area is doing that shit, and it's yeah, man, they're on their way out, I think.
God, I'm gonna kick Richard Branson in the balls. It turned out 3 times after it was all done, and I was getting more frustrated because I was missing out on the game and the interacting part of it, and then I was missing out half the dialogue. So I was coming in late, fucking jumping in, and I'm just like, oh my god, what the hell? And then I'm hearing everybody perfect.
Oh, of course.
And friggin', they're not hearing me. I'm frozen. I'm just like, fuck this. Oh, there's Chris one. How are you, buddy? Yeah, I'm just... Oh my god, I'm just talking about this. God, it was horrendous. I was ready to kill dead things at the end of it. Games are supposed to be fun. Coming online, meeting with your buddies is supposed to be fun. And God, I aged 10 years with all that shit.
Oh, the best part is last time we talked to you, we were like, oh, hey, I got this game we should play. It's like, maybe let's see once this upgrade's done.
Yeah, let's you know us when we start something new. always have a few teething problems. Oh,
I mean,
my
hey,
God.
at least the nice thing is it seems so far it's going better than it was when we first logged on. When we first logged on, man, it was rough.
Oh God,
but
yeah.
Seems to be coming through crystal clear now, so fingers crossed.
You can see our whole catalog of fuck-ups.
Hey, you know what? We got a couple shiners there where they're the only thing that we fucked up was just us doing the show. Wasn't technical issues, so we got a couple, damn it.
Oh yeah, it's here it's been 2 years at this, right? We have discussed over 80 movies. We've featured 93 stories from authors. 85 different authors have been part of this show. We've played 15 games. And we've discussed, I think, about 4 books, because obviously we feature books, so there's no point discussing them, but we've thrown into the conversation as well. So we've been a busy wee channel for the time we've been going.
Right.
And,
especially considering the last thing that we did together, man. That we far surpassed that already, and it's just 2 of us.
Yeah, yeah, but that podcast went for 7 years, and we got 26 episodes out of it because of fucking people talking about. Yeah, never come back to that format again. Voice actors, man. Yeah. Nah. Anyway, talking about acting and stuff. Happy Halloween to you, even though it's finished. What a strange time that has been.
Dude, really, like, everybody I have talked to or like even saw around Halloween time was like, fuck, it doesn't even feel like Halloween. And like for me, it was kind of understandable because I've been going to school as well as working full time. So I have had yeah. So it's like I haven't watched shit for movies. I watched 1 Halloween movie, and I feel like somebody owes me money because I wasted a fucking holiday on that piece of shit.
Surely you're not talking about the bestest Halloween movie ever?
Yeah, I'm talking about Evil Dies Tonight Ends. Oh my god. That was the biggest crock of dog shit ever.
But we're just foolish because David Gordon Green's here to save us. Did you not know?
Shit. Yeah, I'll fucking just off myself if that's the case.
Funny enough, that segues into your first thing. So,
Yeah.
David Gordon Green is killing our expectations. Where have you heard this before?
Yeah, oh my god. Let's see anything Kathleen Kennedy's done in recent years. And
So
we're wrong for not
now,
liking it.
you mocked me when I gave my warnings. I said if we don't keep horror, these fuckers are going to come across. They're burning through every other style and franchise out there.
Mm-hmm.
They hate the audience. They hate the customer. Like,
yeah,
these people are so far up their own arse. It's unreal. And here they come. They've nothing left, so now they're coming into our territory. And I've been shouting from the rooftops for ages, fucking watch out. And here it starts.
Dude, I want to punch the person that wrote this article just by trying to compare this to fucking Christine. No,
Yeah,
you're fucking wrong. This is a turd sandwich, and that's a pretty damn decent adaptation of a Stephen King novel.
that still holds up.
In
fact, we should do that. We should do that
Christine?
in the vault. Yeah.
Oh, I'm down. I fucking love Christine.
We should do that. That's on the list. We'll get that smashed out. But love it or hate it, Halloween Ends by director David Gordon Green is a love letter to John Carpenter movies.
Yeah, it's definitely something.
What type of love is this? Is that stalker love? Is that the fucking I hate you type love? What type of love is this?
That would be my guess.
Love.
Yeah, this is the guy that sits in the bushes and watches you sleep through your bedroom window and cuts his palms. Like, that's the kind of love this is.
It's not a healthy love.
No.
Like,
there should
be. I don't want this guy loving me. This is the person you don't want loving you. The conclusion borrows from Carpenter's movie Christine to create a character, Corey Cunningham. No.
Yeah, just straight up. There doesn't even need to be an argument or a discussion on it. Just no. That guy is fucking weird and fucking stupid and fucking pointless. Period.
That scene in the house with the doctor and his assistant. I was about to walk out of the cinema. I was like, fucking what am I watching? But I have a job to do. I had to review it, sticking it through, and everyone got it when I went on camera later on. Because I literally got off the bus, got in here, fired it up.
And it was hard for me not to pop on and give a couple word review after I finished it. I was so pissed.
You should have done that.
I know. I wanted to, but it was like the end of the night and I had to fucking go to sleep. So I didn't.
Oh well.
Just terrible.
Internalize the hate he receives after a boy he was babysitting dies in a tragic accident.
Is it really tragic though?
That kid
fucking deserved it.
That wee lad was a shithead.
Yeah. Yeah, he did the world a service by offing that kid. And that was the last greatest part of the movie. Well, like greatest kill and just best part of the movie.
That was a good part of the movie.
Everything goes to shit. Period.
Audience are split down the middle on Halloween Ends. I don't think it's down the middle.
No.
I don't think it's down the middle. You're a bit optimistic there.
Yeah, I'm usually the optimist when it comes to that shit. There's no way in hell it's split down the middle. Like, I have a friend that loves all the Halloween movies. That includes H2O, Resurrection, and Rob Zombie's second one. So,
fuck off.
Right? He should have loved this movie. And he was basically pulling his dick raw in excitement for this movie to come out. And he was the first person I heard from, and he's like, this was the biggest bit of bullshit ever. I want to kill somebody. And it's like, oh, okay, let's check this shit out.
Yeah, even the blinker diehards are like, actually, and normally the ones that fucking their keyboards are going 100 miles an hour. I'll fucking show you, you bigot, you racist, you misogynist, you fucking and everything just went, just You got a wee bit of it, and then they started watching the movie, and then everything went quiet. Have you noticed how quiet everything is? After that, there's 2 or 3 of these movies, right? And all the ones that are wanting to start shit have just went quiet because they've watched it and went, ooh.
I mean, you know what? That's the way people should be. I mean, except for us. Obviously, we should be screaming from the rooftops our opinions because that really matters. But we're also not.
Gotta make it a car phone. Let's do it. Or a camera, microphone, the camera. That's I can nearly speak.
Fuck yeah.
That's how much this has like got me fucking. It actually hurt my brain watching this movie, and now thinking about it again.
Absolutely. My face legit hurt by the time I was done because the look on my face was just this the whole time. So by the time I was done, I relaxed my face and I was like, oh my God, I got a fucking headache now. What the fuck?
Well, obviously this is our fault because Joshua Encinas is going to set us right. And so is David Gordon Green. You know what I mean? We're obviously wrong. And these are the big brain geniuses who are going to tell us how it is.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, with this, there was, like, I know there was a story, but I still have yet to figure out what the fuck it was. Other than Michael Myers making out with some kid that was sad, and now they're a duo, I guess.
So that didn't even make sense. But some like myself, if I may editorialize, think Corey gives a refreshing look at the societal evil and the evil within each other. Many more think Corey's presence cheats Michael and Laurie out of a satisfying conclusion. I have said this from the start. You can agree or disagree with me. This has become the Terminator franchise. Laurie's the T-800. Michael's the fucking T1 2000, whatever it keeps getting sent back. That's the way this franchise has become.
Yeah, straight up.
All they needed to do was bash each other through walls and windows, and that would have been just fucking T2.
Which, God, they came real fucking close.
Oh, it was like... but look at this.
I was just waiting for one of their eyes to glow red. And then it was like, all right, cool. I'm done.
I cannot self-terminate. No, I was waiting for Michael's fucking thumb to go up and so went through the car crusher thing. That would have just been it, you know.
Dude, I probably would have fucking threw my remote through my TV at that point. It just, oh my God. I still can't get over just how terrible a movie this is. And the thing is, you guys know me. I love schlocky movies.
Dude,
like,
we've had these discussions.
One of my favorite movies is The Greasy Strangler, for fuck's sake. I like bad cinema. This was just ridiculous. Yeah.
Like I've obviously reviewed movies in between us doing things and some really awful ones, but they've been made with heart. And there's a kind of you can sense that they're trying and they want to make something. And that gives you, you have a lot of forgiveness in your heart. And in the horror franchise, let's be honest, we have a lot of forgiveness in our heart for terrible movies.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole suspension of disbelief shit. Like, when you go into a horror movie, you have to have that. Otherwise, you're just going to be that asshole that's like, oh, that's not how it would happen.
Yeah, but this fan-baiting shite and the Hollywood mainstream coming into our genre, which has survived many years without them. Yes, there's the odd popcorn flick appears, but for the most part, horror is low budget, small studios, and just crank it out.
Well, the thing I don't understand is why because the major studios have always had a thumb in everything. Like if you go back as far as the Universal monsters, those they had zero faith in, gave as little money as possible to, but that's what made them enough money to produce all the other movies, like all the straight films, for the following year, just so that they could come back, make a cheap horror movie, and do the same thing, like make all their budget again from that. Like that's how it's always been. That's why there's so many little companies that are owned by huge parent companies, because they don't want direct interference, or they don't want direct contact with that shit, but they want the money because people are
dirty
going
little
to see
secret.
Everything.
Horror is most of the franchise's dirty little secret. My concern is, when we talk about the next article, don't let the eye of Hollywood fall upon horror. And this is where it's going. We're about to get a lot of hatred. And they tried it with Hellraiser. They tried the fan bait and shit with Hellraiser. It didn't work. And some of the tryhards really went for it, and they got no reaction because it's the wrong crowd. But Halloween Ends could be anything you wanted, and you were like, let's just make it sexy. Where was the sexy parts?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're into old zombies making out with young, anxious kids, that probably got your gears going. But other than that, like, this was just, there was nothing good about it.
Like Corey and Allison, wasn't it? The love story?
Yeah.
There was no chemistry between those two. No chemistry whatsoever. Pearl wouldn't.
Well, and she went from basically a self-actualized human being to somehow regressing to a young, horny teenager. Like, why? It just hurts my head.
I was just remember watching this going, where's this all happening? Just go, why?
Well, and it didn't feel like the other two movies, because Halloween Returns or whatever the fucking Evil Dies Tonight was, I wasn't a huge fan of, but at least it followed like the story arc started with the first one, or Halloween 2, or whatever the fuck they want to consider it. It at least made sense, even though I didn't particularly like it. I understood it. This did not feel like either of those films at all.
That was like, I can't even remember. Halloween Kills, I can't even remember the way the story went. I don't want to watch it again.
It was just Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah, I just I don't even want to watch it again. I didn't even want to watch it to refresh myself. Even the first Halloween of this trilogy, I didn't feel the need to go back and watch again.
Same. I mean, I was going to, but it's like I gotta force myself to sit down and do that. And there's so many other things that I could be doing.
Yeah. This is when this becomes a job. Well, how to decide how we wanted to wrap up these characters? How do you want to make it not just a nice, neat bow in a franchise? What's wrong with that? Honestly, we never once considered making Laurie and Michael movie. That's kind of the fucking basis. Have you heard this before, by the way, with other movies? Is history repeating itself?
Right.
The concept should be a final showdown type brawl. Never even crossed our minds. The fuck? Yeah, what is going through his mind apart from fucking cocaine and fucking acid? Probably not even. That's the thing, though. Right. I think back when directors and that were like off their heads and stuff and shagging each other, at least they were fucking engaged. These bunch of miserable fucking bastards that are making movies now, I don't know why they're. What the hell? I wanted one to win, one to die. Well, we're always more ambitious. Like, what's he talking about? This is fucking word soup.
Yeah.
This is just fucking typical shitty word soup. And my swear meters went up. That's how annoyed I am. Just fucking.
Yeah.
Normally, I've tried to rein it in over recent videos, not going full steam, but Jesus Christ, this is horrendous. Yeah. But why make Halloween Ends a love story with a psychopath?
Yeah.
Where was this love story? There was fucking weird infatuation. Laurie tried to set them up, and then she got funny about it because she thought she made a mistake. It just made no sense. Yeah. And then it turned into a rebellious teenager.
Yeah.
When she's the one that instigated the whole thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make any goddamn sense at all.
Considering what this family's been through, their bond should be. I mean, there should be none of that bullshit because there should be when you're going through an experience as harrowing that and come through the other side, you should be in tandem with each other. You know what I mean? These conversations just be, I've got a bad feeling, understood. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's fucking nonsense.
Yeah, it really it didn't make any sense for any of the characters to act the way they did.
That's really some of the shit he's saying. I have had a niche to do a love story. We'll do a fucking love story, but you haven't done the well. I tried to infuse it into my Boston Marathon bombing movie, Stronger.
Ew.
The fuck?
What the fuck?
Well, the concept was so heavy, I said, how do we not make it about terrorists? Well, if you're making a movie about a terrorist atrocity, then you're going to make it about terrorists. What the fuck's this guy smoking? Let's make it about love. Fucking. So he made a fucking lovely, peaceful bombing, and now he's making a lovely, peaceful fucking horror movie. Oh my god, this guy's.
Yeah, this guy's a cunt, and he needs to be stopped.
I've had a lot of these same emergencies. Oh, but he's not finished yet. And wait till we get to the end. You're going to fucking.
Dude,
your screen's going to explode.
Yeah, I was reading ahead of the shit that he's saying, and it's like, you're such a fucking cunt. I hate him so much.
Was made about how can we create the psychopath without having to go into Michael Myers' psychological backstory. People have tried to do it, and it isn't interesting to me because it tends to make him less scary as an entity. Then don't fucking just keep him as is. My problem with the whole Halloween franchise is they can't make up their minds what Michael is.
Yeah,
is he a super strong human or a supernatural entity? They did the same with Friday the 13th until about the fourth movie, and then they went for it, and everything kind of went cool after that. Halloween could never make up their mind what Michael Myers was. So that when they have him as a human character, they give him superhuman strength, and he can basically rip other people's heads off except Laurie, who's got superpowers.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the frustrating and disappointing thing really with this is there was so much fucking hype before the first one even came out, and they're like, oh, we're bringing it back to reality. You know, he's not a monster, he's just a man, and blah blah blah. And it's like, cool, I want to see that. And we didn't once. And this movie was Halloween jumping the shark.
Yeah, it's Jar Jar Abrams all over again. It's fucking Rian Johnson all over again.
This is worse. At least that shit was palatable-ish. This is terrible.
You use humor to bring Allison and Corey together. What humor?
Yeah,
this guy was
I thought was funny was the kid being killed in the beginning.
Yeah, that was it, because you wanted it to happen, and then I was like, and that was the only good bit in the cinema because of that thump of the door. I was like, whoa, yes, that was it. And it was only the cinema. If I had been watching this on a TV screen, it would have just been up. Do you know what I mean? The only good bit in the movie was that door slam in the cinema because of the surround sound effects. And by the way, there was only about 10 people in the whole. I posted their Instagram page once again because I went for the matinee. Empty cinema,
of course,
and it kind of speaks volume about this. So basically, he's talking shit, but the bit I want to get to is because this dickhead isn't finished yet. How do you respond to negative feedback for Halloween Ends? It's funny when someone says, build your dream house in this real estate using this title and these characters. Everybody's going to find a different little thing that's meaningful for them, and they'll make it their own. That's what I did. For every bite of backlash, you also get people that are thanking you for taking it to a new place and keeping it alive and full of love.
No one is fucking thanking him.
No, his fucking circle jerk fucking Hollywood fart chamber where they all smell each other's farts is thanking him. Now, are you ready?
No,
Audience,
I'm fucking not.
Are you
ready? And you shouldn't be either.
Finally, will William Friedkin have a role in your new Exorcist trilogy like John Carpenter did in the Halloween trilogy? This fucker's going to make 3 Exorcist movies.
And they're all going to be horse shit.
Are you ready? He won't. That's it. He won't. Fuck him. On this journey, we picked Ellen Burstyn to be our spiritual guru, whoever the hell that is. Our Exorcist is linked narratively by its characters, but it isn't in terms of stylistic parallels. I'm not leaning into what Friedkin did, but it's going deep into who Chris McNeil is and what she brought to the table. Without giving too much away, the tools and insights that she utilised over 50 years find a new application. Ellen's the one we've brought on board, and we filmed 8 days with her a year ago to do some technical and creative explorations. And next week, we get back in the ring. So to answer your question, Freakin's not involved in this. If he's as good as John Carpenter at making music, we'll get him to do a song in the movie. He can do a trombone version of Tubular Bells.
I hate this man so fucking much.
This guy's a cunt.
Much. Yeah.
This guy is an absolute cunt.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I don't understand him at all. It doesn't make any fucking sense. By the way, that's the mom, I believe, Ellen Burstyn
of Reagan.
Yeah,
or
Reagan's mom. I believe. I'm trying to look it up real quick.
All right, God.
That's her mom.
Wasn't she in that other shitty movie we watched?
She was in a lot of shitty movies, I'm sure, but
we reviewed one.
What are you talking about?
What was that one? Jesus Christ, they did all the Exorcist references because she was in it, and they had the statue of. Oh my God, I can't remember. We watched that.
Had Pazuzu in it?
Azusa, yeah, I had Azusa in it, and
I am drawing a blank.
We did it about a year ago.
And she was in it. I forgot.
She was a therapist. Do you remember? She was a therapist. Oh fuck!
I must have seriously blacked it out.
Yeah, I was haunting a mood. Do you remember that one with the shitty sound and the director actually wants us to do more?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, she was in that.
Okay.
Do you remember? Oh God, it just memories come back now. It's like, oh, I think I need to. The longer I'm doing this podcast, I think I'm gonna have to bleach my brain out on a regular basis. I think I'm gonna have to get like a little hatch, open it up, and get somebody to get in there with a scrubber just every so often to go. It's all gone, and then I can start again.
Right. Yeah, they just need to hurry up and develop that endless sunshine on a spotless mind bullshit, so I can get all that erased. At least if I can get Halloween Kill Ends, whatever the fuck this one was, out of my head, I think I'll be a lot happier.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to forget this entire franchise, to be honest. It's had a good start.
I fucking love this franchise. Even the bad ones are still entertaining. Like H2O and Resurrection, they have their moments. They're not good movies. I don't like, but I'm doing a Halloween marathon. I'll watch them and I'll enjoy them a little bit. Aspects. I will never revisit these ever again. They were so fucking terrible.
Yeah, and now we see the attitude of the director. You know, it's one thing missing a few beats or not having the budget or having problems with production, which is why I think it's interesting when a movie goes badly is to look at the production issues now, because there's an interesting story behind it, like the Hellraiser franchise. Some of the production aspects that went on and the decisions to why the movies ended up so as bad as they were, despite having people on board that love the franchise. It's interesting to see what's happening. But this is somebody that thinks he's better than the material. Obviously, fucking has a one-track mind.
Yeah.
And he's been hailed as fucking the man for horror. And you're like, get the fuck.
Yeah, and fuck him. And fuck everybody that's given him that title.
And I will not be watching The Exorcist when it comes out. I'll not be
I might, just to see how terrible it is. Like I'm not one of those people that likes to hate watch shit, but I guess it's more so morbid curiosity. I might watch the
maybe not when it comes out. Stream. Give it 6 months.
No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna go fucking see that shit in theaters.
Do not fund
anything that he's involved in. I will never go see in theaters. Period.
Yeah,
just out of pure spite.
You can fuck off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what these arseholes don't realize. The minute you start pissing on things that people love, and then the next thing will be, you're an istophobe, you're this, you're a fucking alt-right Nazi. It's a fucking script. They bring it out and they fucking repeat the script the whole time. And you're like, what are you talking about, you bellend?
Mm-hmm.
But that's their automatic defense.
Yeah.
In fact, they've even got the fucking articles prepared before the thing comes out because it's just a fucking tactic now. And the words mean nothing. Ah, man. But anyway, here's a funny one. I found this. Found it actually this morning. Apparently, Terrifier 2 is getting nominated for an Oscar.
Which is interesting because there's a movie called, or not a movie, a book. I believe it's called The Man Who Would Be Kings, all about what is actually involved for Oscar nominations and the awards, because it's all bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's
literally just studios throwing oddly amounts of money around just to pay for an award.
and
So
no
yeah,
one
when I
gives a shit
saw
about them.
that headline, I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, no, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, but here's it's a funny article. The reasons they're doing it, right? But we'll have to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where horror fans, horror creators need to watch, because these Muppets have nothing else. And the minute you start bringing attention, I know we all want people to love what we love, but do we though? Do we want the normies coming into our space and bringing their bullshit with them? Because they can't come in and be respectful. So vomit-inducing slack. Did people legit throw up in the movie in the cinemas, or is that just people being arseholes?
That's supposedly, but it's also people that don't know what to expect, like people that don't watch shit like this or haven't watched the original or the previous Art the Clown movies. It's like I don't know. I just find I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go see it later on today.
Right.
But I just can't imagine it being that fucking brutal.
It's a splatter movie.
Like the first one was pretty good.
Yeah, the effects. Some of the effects are ridiculous. You know, they're goofy effects, but it's fun, and he's ramped it up. I give a full review on it. This is not for normies, right? This movie is not for the casual audience. This is where you need to ease yourself. You need to be a bit of lube. You know what I mean? You need to lube yourself up before inserting this into you. Don't go in dry.
And definitely stretch at least a little bit too.
Yeah. Get those cheeks nice and subtle before you begin. But the vomit-inducing horror film Terrifier 2 has been submitted for an Oscar. Damon Leone's slasher film has been nominated for one of Hollywood's highest honors. Fuck off. No one gives a shit about, outside of Hollywood, no one gives a shit about Oscars or fucking BAFTAs or shitty awards. They're wank. It's just a circle jerk. In a fan-driven campaign, stop it. Understand what you're about to do, fans. I love the Terrifier franchise. I don't understand the hate for it, but once again, it's their own. But don't do this. Think about what you're doing here, folks. The ultraviolet unrated film about a killer clown has been hit with fans of gore. And now, Bloody Disgusting, which is a shit rag. Because they're just as guilty of doing these bullshit articles for fucking interns.
Yeah, it's just clickbait.
Yeah, what these people are, a lot of these magazines, because I looked into it, they're wannabe journalists. And because these magazines don't pay them, but it might give them exposure to get their real job. So they don't care about gaming, they don't care about nerd stuff, they don't care about horror. They're just, it's a vehicle.
Which is so insane, because even just a decade ago, like, you could take these people serious because they were fans. Like, they did it for the love. Like, you go back to people like Uncle Creepy and shit like that. Like, they were legit motherfuckers. Like, they were us. They were just slightly more articulate. Like, it's so disappointing.
It was funny enough because we had this conversation last week because there's a wee bit of a scheduling thing happened with our. That's why we could do our stream last week.
Yeah. Oops.
But
My bad.
Here, communicate. I should have said been a bit more clear what I was doing, and then but that's that happens, life. But I look like a normie, as we've discussed. You wouldn't know I'm a horror geek to look at me out in the street. I just blend in. Nobody knows anything about me. That's it. You wouldn't know I'm into all the nerdiest shit of the day unless I told you. And then I just love the shock. I love the shock on people's faces when they realize what I'm into, and they're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
that gives me a wee bit of a buzz. Like, what you're, and I'm not just deep into shit. I'm balls deep. You know what I mean? When I get into something, that's it. I'm there. It's not even a casual reference. You know, I get stuck in. But I could not sit here and talk if I didn't love the genre. Couldn't do it. That's why I don't do podcasts and other, you know what I mean? You know why some people have podcasts in different genres and that, they'll might talk about other things. I've no love for them franchises anymore, so I couldn't sit here and talk.
It's a waste of your time.
I don't need to be famous. I don't have that need to jump on the pop culture bandwagon and whatever's trending at the moment, talk about it. If I don't give a shit about something, I'm done. I'm not even cross my radar. I'll not waste my time on it. But these people will. These people will write these articles to be, look at me, super brain, look at me, serious journalist, pick me. And you notice a lot of these articles, it's the same shite. And it'll start off talking about a particular thing, and then it just talks the same word soup that they produce. And goes off in tangents like fucking love stories. And one of the longest running slasher franchises. Piss off. So it turns out this is the horror fan and filmmaker called for the most vomit-inducing movie since The Exorcist. Went on to admit that the nomination was an attempt to troll the Academy. Fair one. Yeah, it's a total goof. I get that. I get the idea of trolling these idiots with horror stuff. I get
Somebody
it.
has
but
to.
Here's the danger, though. We're going to get another Green. They're going to get, if this gains traction, oh, there's loads of horror fans. Oh, they've got money. Oh, they spend money on stuff. Let's start making stuff for them. And then, but it can't be what they want. It has to be what we want to give them. And then we're going to get this other bullshit that comes into, and the thing is, and we've discussed this hundreds of times, we're the most diverse fucking, before even that word diversity was thrown about, we were already there and fucking ahead of the curve decades before. We didn't give a flam fuck who. If you like the weird shit we like, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, you're in. That's it. That's the only prerequisite. Doesn't matter what you got dangling between your legs. Doesn't matter color your skin, religious views, anything. If you like weird shit like us, awesome. You're one of us. That's how it's always been.
Yeah, bro, and that's always been that. And we've just happily flown on the radar. And yeah, you get and that's funny because the activist does come in. Like we're on social media app and I check it, and you get the activists come in. And to be honest, they don't really get anywhere because, like, what are you talking about, you weirdo? You know, fuck off. And they'll get the odd like and share, but they won't get the attention that they're looking for. And what they want, these sort of people, is the person that disagrees with them or doesn't like them, because they want to use that to validate themselves. That's their whole outlook in life. Green wants you to hate him. He wants to wind you up. And then he'll fucking whack himself off, you know what I mean? At the thought of all the fans, all the toxic fans, he's pissed off. You know what I mean? Not the fact that he's a shit story maker and, you know what I mean, destroys everything he touches. So, tag the Academy on Twitter with the hashtag Oscars for Art to take part in our fan-driven and completely and utterly not serious at all Oscar campaign for Terrifier 2. Now, I did review this, and my concern is, Leon, this guy is going after mainstream recognition. He's already teetering, and you'll see it when you watch it. There's a few aspects of this where he's teetering on the edge, and he could fall off that cliff. He's playing a dangerous game here, because he has the opportunity. This is a brand, in terms of franchises, this is a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
Only been going a few years, and he has the opportunity to be fucking long-standing cult director.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's already talks that if this goes further, there's going to be basically a Freddy versus Jason with art type of thing, and
Victor
man,
Crowley.
I really hope it happens. Yeah, so Victor, it basically would be Victor Crowley versus Art the Clown, and I really fucking hope that ends up happening.
But if he goes this direction, he's going to destroy it. He needs to be careful. Once you start getting those Hollywood kids involved, or even their attention upon you, it's not going to end well. So as much as he's doing this for a laugh, yeah, I would urge caution with this stuff. I don't know what you think about it.
I haven't seen it, so it doesn't. I have no context.
No, but I mean this whole idea of
I don't know, man, because it's like
getting,
I don't see any problems with it because nobody's gonna fucking take it serious anyways, except for the people that are supposed to. That's the nice thing about shit like this. Like with Halloween, it's a different story because that's something everybody knows. Everybody knows who the fuck Michael Myers is, even if they've never watched one. This is, I mean, art's been around for over a decade, and this is the first bit of recognition that he's like mainstream recognition that he's getting. So I don't care. I don't know, man. I would totally see Victor Crowley and Art recreating Batman versus Superman. But
Martha,
instead of it being Martha,
why'd you say that name?
It would obviously be Daddy. And then that'd be great because then not only would we have Kane Hodder playing Victor Crowley, we'd also have him playing his dad too. So that'd be fun. Well, okay, that'd be funny. Let me rephrase that. That'd be funny.
I think if it stays in the same spirit, I've just got concerned if he's chasing Hollywood, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose his way.
Well, and the thing is, because I recently listened to an interview that he did. That's how I found out about the whole Victor Crowley versus Art potential thing. And this movie, he did everything in his power to keep it outside of the Hollywood system. Like they worked on it for 4 or 5 years. Like he's essentially doing everything himself, just like he did with Terrifier 1 and with his portion of All Hallows Eve and stuff. Yeah, so I think he's going the right direction, and if it blows up, if it makes him a super big whatever, then good on him because he's sticking to his guns.
Don't get me wrong. I wish this guy every success.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I'm concerned. After we're starting to see the pattern. These idiots are starting to come into horror now, and that's why I'm urging caution. These morons have burned through every other franchise, and now they're looking, horror's still shiny and has a fan base that get along for the most part, even though there's passionate debates. They're not at each other's throats. Let's go there. And if we are not careful, we're going to end up like the rest.
Well, the thing is, I mean, that happens normally. Like anytime there's a new something where they can make money, they put out shit that sucks. Like you look at the first Paranormal Activity, that was good, that was great, that was groundbreaking. So then they followed up like 30 other films. I mean, it's just that's what happens. It's a machine.
Every time I see that night vision fucking security camera thing, I'm just like, oh god, no, not again. That's just my instant reaction. Oh, fuck off. Man. Anyway. There you go. There's fucking what's going on with Hollywood and stuff. I don't know, man. I think we're lucky that there's so many. Like, I don't think in my lifetime I'll ever watch every horror movie going.
No, of course.
Even if it's no mission, it's too deep. The ocean's too deep, and these guys don't have the longevity to stay long enough, I think, to destroy us. And I don't think they get the horror fan base. They really don't. I don't think they're going to win this battle. what they're trying to do. There'll be a blip in the radar.
Well, again, I mean, that's just how it's always been, period. So it's not like, they release a dog shit movie like Halloween Ends and that's going to destroy horror. No, it just means that you got egg on your face and you look like a cunt. Let's watch the next thing that comes out because it's probably going to be way better.
So, seeing Green decide he was going to piss on John Carpenter, I thought we may as well celebrate what a real director is about.
Yeah, celebrate. You're gonna like what I have to say about this movie.
Oh yeah. Let's dive into the vault.
Let's do it.
So, Prince of Darkness turned 35.
Yeah, and I had never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, it's one that apparently just kind of went under my radar for whatever reason. Even my wife hadn't seen it, and it was like, oh fuck, okay, well, cool. It's it's Carpenter, it's horror. I'll just go ahead and buy the 4K release that came out last year. I wish I would have just rented it for $3.
Oh dear, this freaked me out as a kid.
I could see why, but man, it didn't age well at all.
It's some interesting concepts. Yeah, the special effects, not like the whole squirty thing with the liquid.
Dude, fucking everybody cum swapping. It was like, what the fuck, man?
But yeah, this I think is one of the earliest movies like I watched like proper horror that at the time just made me go, ugh. I think more because of the mirrors than anything else. But basically the premise is we've got I just can't believe people haven't seen this. This is like even Alice Cooper's in this and everything else. It's just
yeah, he definitely is.
Doesn't do much, but he's in it,
Yep. That was like, hey, this will bring people to the theaters.
Yeah. So we've got these bunch of scientists, post-grad students who are all like in their 40s. It's quite funny. The church, the Roman Catholic Church, brings them in because guess what? The RCs have another secret organization. Because that's what they love. They don't keep their kid fucking quiet. You know what I mean? They're quite happy with that. But every other thing they actually do with their religion, they hide away. So we discover that the church has the Brotherhood of Sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with a group that sounds like that. Like I would love to sleep. Sounds fantastic.
Good. I actually don't sleep. I really only sleep the Friday because I have to commute every day. So I'm kind of that half during the week, that half in, half out, as in, oh shit, my alarm goes off, and if I don't get my first tube at a certain time, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So I don't sleep the Friday.
Yeah,
and then I have a nice proper.
I sleep Saturday night. That's about it for me.
But we've got this secret organization that is in a church in the middle of a residential area. Because
because it just makes sense.
Instead of it being like in the top of a hilltop, away from people. But sure, when you're carrying dangerous cargo, that's what you do. You stick it right in the middle of a city.
Fuck yeah.
I kind of put just talking points because go through the plot of this movie actually is a bit like, to me it's just I have a nostalgia thing about it because, like I said, I first watched this as a kid and it freaked me out, and I was just
yeah, which is understandable. If I had watched this like when I watched other Carpenter films, like I think if I had seen it as early as I had seen like They Live or anything like that, I would probably hold it a bit closer to my heart. But having just experienced it, it's like, oh man, really? Like I had a hard time sitting through this movie because it was just so long and confusing, but not confusing at the same time, it's weird.
There's a couple of elements. What do you think of how many postgrad students were there? Like, there
was a shit ton. Yeah, there was a lot, and then they just kept like leaving and stuff. Like, I understood it at one point. It's like, oh, okay, well, it's because they're cannon fodder. But it's like, do you really need that many people? Like, it just have the homeless people kill themselves, type of thing. But yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah, and I love the way each one gives their fucking like dissertation of what they're studying for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, come on, get over yourself.
Yeah,
like, and they weren't young. You know what I mean? They weren't like in their 20s or anything. Like, these were all.
No, like, everybody looked like they should have been professors at that point.
Yeah, that was kind of hilarious. You know, it was back to this whole thing. You know, I think I've talked about this before, but I always felt like I was developmentally challenged watching movies. High school kids, and I'm like, duh, what's wrong with me? You know, pulling out the old shorts and stuff, going, huh? And then you realize that they're all in their fucking 30s playing 15-year-olds. You're like, okay. Yeah, this really took that to the next level. Like, they're fucking students.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all come in. They're all fucking introducing themselves. They're really exciting people.
Oh yeah.
And God, what do you think of the whole idea? Jesus was an alien sent to Earth to warn everybody, and then he was executed.
If you follow the Mormon religion and all, that's not far from the truth.
True enough, good old space Jesus.
Yeah,
came in his ship.
Yeah, it made just as much sense as pretty much everything else going on in this movie.
Yeah,
the thing that I still don't understand is the whole, like, them trying to stick with actual theories of physics and religion and blah blah blah, but then the whole idea of, oh, we're trying to protect the world through transmissions going back in time. I was like, that's stupid as fuck. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. What?
It's like they've tried to combine cosmic horror with supernatural horror, and I don't know, this kind of fell short somewhere in the middle. And they're trying to rewrite the whole. If you're going to use religious themes, use religious themes. But when you're trying to interpose them, you know, the battle between science and magic sort of thing, but they're all nodding their heads and agreeing with each other. It was odd. Oh, I forgot what's his face that plays the priest?
Donald Pleasance.
He was the worst character in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad and funny at the same time. You can watch through his filmography to see, like, just the ravages of alcohol on the brain. And I mean, this is like towards the end of his career and the end of his life, and you could tell it was bad. Like, he's in a different movie than everybody else, and not in a good way.
No, he's just he starts off as an introduction, then maybe they should have left him there. But
yeah,
the fact that the same in The Office, where he brings Professor in and tells him what's going on. I think he should have bowed out at that point and then let them carry on with the movie.
Yeah, and it's hard because I understand why he's in there and why he was throughout the entire movie, because that was the draw. That's why you go see a John Carpenter film, because you know you're going to get a classic actor like that. Just like in the first 4 Halloweens, or I guess some of the Halloweens.
He came back about 3 times in the Halloween ones, didn't he? He's like fucking the world's first gun hunting psychiatrist. You know, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, but he was wholly unnecessary. Definitely.
Yeah. What do you think of the whole idea? Satan as a liquid.
Man, that made as much sense as the cum swapping. It's like, if he can come through like that, why wouldn't he just come through all the way, instead of just every now and then, like, ooh, ominous shot of liquid dripping up to the ceiling? That was interesting.
Yeah, Then they tried to explain it part way. There wasn't actually just a liquid, but a probiotic organism, and blah blah blah. And then it wasn't just Satan, but Satan isn't the son of God in this in terms of Christian mythology, but he's a son of a bigger, badder super daddy Satan, who's anti-God. I was thinking, from DC Comics, the anti-bonder.
Yeah.
I'm like, so they're actually, like I said, pick one. If you're gonna be supernatural, religious themes, stay with that. If you're gonna be cosmic horror, stay with that. This is where I think the two ideas. I think there's two different movies here.
Yeah, definitely.
And if I had stuck with, they could have made two different movies, stuck with one idea, and probably just as interesting. But because these are clashing with each other, and sort of one bit rewrites one part, and then so the science part rewrites the religion part, and then a couple of scenes later, the religion part's rewriting the science part, and it kind of leapfrogs, I guess.
Well, and it was kind of confusing, like, throughout it, because, like, Satan is there the whole time. Cool. Get that. At some point, he's going to come through the goo. But then it's all negated at the end of the movie because it doesn't matter, because now somebody's bringing a really bad Satan through a mirror.
Satan,
like, what was the whole fucking point of the goo? Like, I understand MacGuffins, but that still doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, because at the end, without bringing Daddy through,
I don't know. And that
could
was
have just infected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's already controlling all the homeless people outside. Anybody that touches converts, so that would be enough to take over the world.
Well, if you don't even need that, you need one person to be possessed to open up a goddamn mirror to bring evil or super evil Satan times 2 through. Like, it didn't make sense to me.
It didn't have to be in the church. It could have been anywhere. You know what I mean? Instead of hanging around the church, in fact, we're the homeless people and send them toddling off to the nearest fucking store. Job done. 3 miles away.
Right.
Yeah. And reflecting this, and thanks for ruining my childhood, by the way. Fucking with your negativity. You don't fucking, you know what I mean? You don't like anybody, do you?
I don't.
Did you hear everything?
Yeah. I'm just a grump ass.
This conversation normally goes the other way. How times have changed.
I know, right? It's so weird me shitting on a movie. I don't know. I do want to watch it again because I feel like I was just being a grump ass that night or something, but it just kind of fell flat for me.
Isn't it amazing though? That's actually a thing I've noticed too. All depending on your frame of mind can completely adjust your experience when you sit down in front of a movie.
Oh, definitely. I mean, just taking anything in, like reading, a conversation you're having with somebody. Like, if you're in the wrong frame of mind, it's going to completely color it a different way than it would, if you're in a better mood. So, yeah, it's definitely one that I'm going to watch again, especially because I bought it. Because why not? And I'd love to go through the special features because, it is John Carpenter.
It's not like you buy Blu-rays every month and don't watch them.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's not like that doesn't happen at all.
No. Yeah. It's like me buying books every month and they end up on the shelf. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm going to get caught up eventually.
Yeah, at some point. Well, so that's the thing. That's my my secret to immortality is if I have way more shit than I can consume, I can't die, obviously, because I still have movies to watch.
Yeah, gotta get your money's worth.
Exactly.
We're not just banned for the shiny things that sit in the shelves like toys.
Right.
Oh man. So you touch upon this, the whole tachyon transmission from the future. Like, that was, I'll be honest, with the original one and this one, that's a bit I struggled with because it felt like it was just shoehorned in throughout the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary. Like, they could just have collected dreams because they're in a situation with an entity that's powerful enough to come through their dreams. Like, you don't need to bring in some fucking people from the future, even though the world ends because of this. Like, it just seemed a little much, little out of the movie.
Yeah, that's always. I still find it just as jarring the second time I watched it, because this is one of these movies I've actually put off watching because I loved it as a kid. It freaked me out, and I didn't want to ruin it.
Dude, it's hard, man. I feel you. Like The Gate, that scared the shit out of me as a kid.
And you're like,
and
I
then
don't want to watch it again.
Watching again, it's like, oh no, it's so stupid. I mean, I love it, but in a different way now.
Yeah, that's always the danger. It's like the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Yeah,
I'm not watching them again because they hold such a place in my heart. And even though I have watched them quite a few times, and Part 5's the worst one, I just can't gel that movie whatsoever. But I don't want to. I don't want to keep.
Fantastic.
It's the whole baby thing, and I think when you know how sperm and egg works, the 100 Maniacs thing doesn't quite make a difference.
Yeah,
it's that's that whole thing. But that was also one I struggled with a bit. It was the whole concept, but the actual kills and stuff were great. But like, it's a rare occasion I'll have I'll go back in Nightmare on Elm Street because I don't want to ruin it for myself. Just because of childhood, that was one of my introductions that really roped me into the horror franchise. And I don't want to lose it, man. I've taken so much already. What were your thoughts on Kelly? She was like the main character in this and the first to be possessed.
I thought it was an interesting choice that she became possessed first. And then for it to take so long for everybody to understand, oh, hey, she's possessed. Like why?
Skin rotting off her, and just got strange.
And that was the other thing too. Like she experienced shit way different than everybody else. And I don't understand why. Because like nobody else did that. Like, of course, people were mutilated differently and experienced it differently, but why the fuck was she melting and then pregnant and then not pregnant and melting? It's a little weird.
Kind of, there's an odd way, because everything else was straightforward, but the way that messed with her character, just like, what are you doing? It's just
well, and especially like, so I understood that she was essentially going to be birthing the Antichrist. At least that's kind of how I saw it happening. But with the way it ends with the mirror universe, why wouldn't she just be like, oh, I'm possessed. Okay, I'm going to go look in a mirror and pull Satan Daddy out.
Do you think there's just too many ideas got in the melting pot here?
That's kind of what it seems like. Like there was just so much going on and they couldn't quite pick a lane and stay in it.
Yeah, and we've seen that many, many times with movies. It's just like, oh, throw us in, oh, throw that in. And it's like, no, just keep it simple.
Yeah, you don't need to throw like everything in the kitchen sink. Like, just stick with one and we'll enjoy it.
Yeah. What did you think of the Alice Cooper cameo? Like,
utterly pointless. Like, he brought nothing to the table other than, wow, man, Alice Cooper has a lot of makeup on.
Cool. Like he does. In fact, probably less in the stage shows, to be honest.
Yeah, probably way less in the stage shows. Yeah, it was
that
pointless.
Yeah, that was money that didn't need to be spent.
Yeah, straight up. And that's the thing, like, John Carpenter has had a run with getting like random people in his movies to sort of like bump up the sell value, and it works. Like, you look at They Live, instead of using Kurt Russell like every other fucking John Carpenter movie, he gets Rowdy Roddy Piper, and that was perfect. That was great. Like, you get times like that with Carpenter films, but this was just like, why? Like, you could have just kept that cameo money and put it in something else in this movie. Like maybe a rewrite.
Yeah, or let's throw another idea and just get something else. Yeah, the whole thing you're saying the cum swapping, just the team becoming possessed was just. At what point should the team have realized that something iffy was going on, or what they were dealing with, and not go around in their own? Like the fucking golden rule is, if you're in a dangerous environment, you don't go around in ones.
No, period. And that's the thing. Even in the beginning, they were told to stick together. And especially down in the fucking chamber. Like they weren't supposed to be down there by themselves. And that's when Chick Face gets possessed.
Yeah, and they just everyone But the start off, and this is why I am, academic does not equal intelligence. Being
No.
academic does not mean you're smart, because everyone sat and gave off their resume. I'm big brain, blah 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 blah. I'm big brain too, blah 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 blah. Me, I'm also big brain, and there was a whole 5 minutes everyone's talking about how they're big brain, and then they act dum dums.
Yeah, straight up.
And break every survival rule possible. Even as scientists dealing with an unknown entity. When I think about it, this is almost Prometheus bad in terms of scientists dealing with stuff.
Yeah, I can definitely see the parallels.
I'm gonna look at the snake thing, even though I've never encountered this creature before, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Coochie goo. Oh, it smashed right through me. Yeah. Really, no shit, Sherlock. Oh, let's untested goo. Let's start licking it and friggin' smearing it over ourselves and stuff. Yeah, I wonder if this is dangerous. I'm surprised they actually didn't get. Do you know what they needed for this movie? Now I think about it. Fucking lay out a table in a punch bowl and somebody just be fucking scooping stuff and handing it out, because
right,
it would at least been funny. Cheers,
Yeah.
On the rewatch, the way they went about stuff, and I think if they used less characters and made this a tighter thing. Was this the tax write-off, do you think?
Fucking maybe.
Do you think there's a wee bit of cash going into the old washing machine and tumble dryer happening here with us? Because first of all, it was a massive cast which did not need it. This could have been done with 5 people in that church.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when Carpenter sticks with a tight crew, it tends to work pretty goddamn well. Like you think of all of his great movies, there's not a lot of people, and that's how it should be. Like he does really, really well with tight, small locations and small groups. Like it tends to work a little bit better.
Well, he had it with the location. Do you know what I mean? This worked. It's contained.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think maybe the fact he had about 50 actors in this.
Yeah.
And that's not even the extras. You know what I mean? There's about fucking 50 people running around that church, because I lost track of all these teams were.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then there was extra people coming in, and then you had all the homeless people who actually gave better performances doing nothing than some of the people in the
right
church, which was funny. And then there was doing the demon thing of messing with people's heads, which. So if you're being subversive and sneakily possessing people, why are you then going to start doing weird shit outside to frighten them? Like the guy just dissolving and stuff, like,
or the dude trying to slit his throat with a 2x4. Like,
yeah, oh god,
it doesn't make.
Was he the one who started? No, I was the black fella was going like, forgot how to speak. Yeah, Kelly could speak perfectly well. Yeah, so the possessions happen differently, and it's the same entity, so there should have been a hive mind as well. Saying it was the same.
Yeah, that's where it kind of seemed like it was going to go, because if you go with the homeless people, like that is essentially a hive mind. Like they're all moving in unison, they're all coming towards the building in unison. So why wouldn't that just continue?
Yeah, man, my childhood's ruined.
Now, so here's the thing that I will say about this movie. The kills were all fantastic. Like, especially the dude getting killed with the cut in half bicycle by Alice Cooper.
Like, yeah, come on.
That was like one of the greatest things I'd seen in the movie.
It's like, ram right into you. Take that.
So good.
Yeah. Like there is the thing is, there's still an aesthetic with this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't want to let it go, because there's still an aesthetic and a look and a feel about this movie, which is actually really good. It's just the actual execution is a bit of a jumbled mess.
Yeah. That's honestly my only problem with this movie is it just, there's a lot of shit going on and not a lot of reason for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now to think about it, we're talking, just to having the two ideas of supernatural and cosmic horror sort of headbutting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If they had stuck with one, been really tight. Even if they had dropped the religious aspect of it and just had it being a supernatural being, and just the fact that religion called it this, because it was the only way they could explain it, and then science took over, would have worked.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember how they opened the chamber, because it was supposed to be locked and sealed, and they couldn't get through it.
They had the key for it. So it was at the very beginning, there's an older priest that is like losing his mind, and he's at
the box
place.
with the
with the little key. Yeah.
Oh yes.
So because of course you find a key that's mysterious and shit, obviously you're gonna use it. So that's how they unwittingly opened Armageddon.
Yeah. Okay. Suppose the last thing was Catherine's character. She was a bit understated until like the end. Kind of just went through it, and then because it was all focused on what's her face? Who did I say? Kelly. You know, she was like the main character, even though she was the antagonist. Catherine kind of sneaked along, and then she did the heroic sacrifice at the end. I think I was about like, what was I, about 5 or 6 when this bloody came out? Yeah, great. That's how I rolled. Deal with it. Hasn't done me any harm. But it wasn't too long after that I ended up watching this. But yeah, they then had her sort of do the heroic sacrifice, but nobody could do that beforehand.
Yeah, well, that's because everybody was a bunch of fucking wieners. That's why. Like, and the thing was too, it wasn't even 100% necessary that she did that. Somebody could have just kicked the one person in the ass, pushed him through the mirror, and then busted the fucking mirror.
Yeah, I think they were. Do you think they were trying for a sequel?
Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely set itself up to be a sequel or to have a sequel.
Yeah, that might have been it. And this is what I'm talking about. There's obviously been a lot of studio interference and ideas, and the mainstream sort of, let's get involved in this. And this is what I'm worried about, you know, because most, like I said, most horror movies are tight. They're a small group of people anyway, because it's low budget. So every expense is spared. But this seems to be, there's a lot of money thrown at this in terms of extravagance. I never looked up how much it cost to make, etc. You know, even back then, but you could see there's a lot of extravagance, you know, in terms of the cast and everything, just all bloated. And it's not Carpenter's normal style.
No, definitely not.
Be interesting to maybe worth looking at interviews and stuff to see actually what happened with this movie.
Yeah, that's why I can't wait to go through the special features, because it's pretty extensive.
Yeah, there's something's definitely happened with this movie to make it the way it is, because it doesn't follow the normal formula. But because it got to me young, it's still going to have that place. Because like the poster and all, look at the poster.
Yeah,
and everything. You know what I mean?
Great. It sets up something that we didn't see.
And the idea behind it, you know, is cool and sort of overall, but just the the execution of it.
You know what it reminded me of?
Yeah.
The thing I couldn't quit thinking about was it reminded me of the first Puppet Master, but not as good.
God, I rattled through them. I didn't realize they made like a 5, 6, and 7.
There's like 11 or 12, I think, at this. No, sorry, there's 13 at this point, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
right. I was stuck with the first 4. You know what I mean? And wasn't the later start seeing the rest and popping up. I'm like, are these ripoffs or holy crap? They've actually carried on. God, I love that. The gunsinger in the second one.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's one of my favorites, definitely. That and Pinhead. Like, I fucking love those guys.
Brilliant. We might have to revisit those at some point.
Fuck yeah.
Because
It'll just be an hour
movies,
of me jerking off. That's pretty much it.
Just wipe the screen every so often. Get a wee windscreen wiper set up.
Like, I'm bad. I even have a tattoo of like a Puppet Master tattoo. That's how much I love that franchise.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I was about to wasn't completely deflated, I'll admit, watching this.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't complete. I didn't lose it completely. I saw the problems, but I think just because of when it got me, yeah, I'll still always not hate this movie. It's just been like that. And it'll be one I'll avoid watching because I want to maybe retain the good memories.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave it like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, how times have changed, eh?
Right.
Like these episodes used to start with, "What the hell are you on about, man?" And you can't even
I know,
me.
right? Yeah. Used to just be me, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This was great. And now I'm the fucking grumpy one.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for watching, Chris. Sorry, you're just saw you pop up there. Was that you said cheers or me? No,
yeah, that was me.
No,
that was
cool.
Yeah, it was you somehow. You forgot that.
No, I've gone off my own wee planet here, but it wouldn't surprise me if I'd done that.
Yeah.
Really glad you're enjoying us. Yeah, spread the word, get more people on board, listen to our random ramblings. At times we do get feisty with each other as well.
Well, shit, that's the fun part.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it's just two people just equally like, hey, this is great, like, that's who the fuck wants to watch that, really?
Nah, fuck's sake. But I just think it's hilarious the way things have just completely flipped in their head enough. We'll flip back in the new year.
I feel like we need to do like one of my childhood favorites next so that we can kind of, turn the tables.
Yeah. Folks, stick in suggestions. Stick in suggestions in the comments. The one you think will get us going at each other, because that'll be
fun. I know one that's very, very. It would
no more found footage. Fuck off. No more found footage.
Fuck off. 3D is amazing.
Get the fuck. I knew you were going to be bastard. You've done enough to me,
dude. I fucking love that movie. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched it. Now here's the thing. Did you get to watch it with the glasses?
I haven't watched it. I'm not gonna. Fuck off.
Oh, well, whatever. It's fun.
Fuck you.
I did that. It was worth the migraine watching it with the red and blue glasses.
Oh, the old school fucking oh my god.
Yeah, it was great. But if you want to have a really interesting discussion, I think we should talk about Ernest Scared Stupid.
Right. God, I sort of remember him back in the day. I might have watched one or two, but he's forgotten. All right, okay, right. We'll maybe put that in the schedule. We'll do like a random special. Yeah, let's find a movie mode fucking where we're complete polar opposites and get stuck in, because it's been a while.
Yeah. I think that would be a good one.
But yeah, I think we'll wrap up here, and just want to say thanks to October's authors, Eugene McLean, Barbara Ryan, Sue Robbins, and Jason Harris. As always, if you're independent author, aspiring writer, or small press published, get involved with the show. All the links are in the descriptions and on our website. Do the clicky typey things that keeps the thing going. Always fantastic. And until next time, folks, keep it creepy.
Keep it
horrific.